Canelo offered David Benavidez a minimum offer of $5.5 million. So Canelo sent out a minimum offer of $5.5 million to David Benavidez. What fuck Canelo's head up is, double X, thanks for liking the live. Benavidez accepted the minimum offer of $5.5 million. Once Benavidez accepted that offer, Canelo's team, they got thrown off guard. Yes, Benavidez accepted a $5 million minimum offer. Y'all gotta let me finish, man. Y'all in the chat, y'all not letting me finish. Canelo offered David Benavidez a $5.5 million minimum offer, right? Benavidez accepted. Canelo's team didn't expect him to accept it. After that, Canelo's team went ghost. After that, they no longer responded to the Benavidez team. Canelo's people, I think the guy's name is Lukowicz, he reached out to Jose Sr., offered this man $5.5 million. You talking about Canelo Alvarez, a man who can bring in 50, 60 million. They offered Benavidez the minimum offer. Benavidez accepted it. But when Benavidez accepted it, Canelo's team went quiet. They didn't expect him to accept it. But that just shows you how hungry, how thirsty David Benavidez is to fight Canelo Alvarez. It also made me think, damn, Shakur should have took that 25%, man. But it shows a lot of things. Like when people really want to fight, they'll take anything. Do you know what Jose Sr. said? Jose Sr. said the reason why we accepted $5.5 million is because of the opportunity. Jose Sr. said it doesn't matter if we win or if we lose. The fact that we'll get to share a ring with Canelo Alvarez will be great for David's career. You understand? Do you understand? So it's just crazy what's going on. Hey, Ricardo, what's up, man? Ricardo said Canelo don't know you. What's up, Ricardo? You don't know me, but you're in my live, man. I like the fire needs the air.
What's good, my dude?
That's your there. Hey, Wickedy, what's good?
I remember to mute myself because I'll be echoing and stuff.
Huh?
Echoing, so I'm gonna like mute myself like here and there.
You good, you good. Somebody says, when is this fight must see TV? Look, the people, they want to know about this. So I got to repeat myself. Motherfuckers coming in here, they don't know what's going on. Everybody in here, make sure you like that. Canelo offered David Benavidez $5.5 million, the minimum. This is a man that brings in 80 million, 70, 60 million dollar paydays. He offered Benavidez the bare minimum, and Benavidez accepted. When Benavidez and his team accepted, Canelo's team went ghost. They no longer responded. They no longer cooperated. They no longer collaborated. They did not expect David Benavidez to accept the bare minimum. So Benavidez basically called Canelo's bluff. They thought that Benavidez was going to say, no, $5 million isn't enough. Then Canelo would be able to say, well, we sent him an offer and he refused it. But Benavidez said, I'll fight you for $5. You know why? Because of the opportunity that will be for him to fight Canelo Alvarez. It will change his entire career. Danny says, stop lying. Danny, go look it up. There's been multiple articles about this. I seen this about like a couple of days ago too. I've been meaning to get to this shit. So go look it up. I searched it up and you're capping. I've read multiple articles on this shit, Danny. So there's no way that you searched it up that damn fast. You just a Canelo supporter. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep. David
And also says he has not seen the deal. They all cap.
Benavidez
Dude,
should be getting
Canelo's
paid.
afraid. No boxer is afraid of anyone. That's false. Hey, what's good, Wiggity?
Benavidez should be getting paid like freaking 50 million for this fight for real. Cause
No. Wickedy. Canelo would never offer him 50-50. Only one who really wanted that smoke was the only man who really wanted that smoke was Errol Spence. Errol Spence
What's good with you, bro?
really wanted that smoke. Hold up, anti-humble. I'm gonna get to you. The only one who really wanted that smoke was Errol Spence Jr. You know why? He did not have to give Terrence Crawford 50-50, but he knew this is the best way to get the fight made. Canelo didn't really want to fight David, so he offered him the bare minimum. And then he got scared when David accepted it. When David accepted it, they thought that they were going to be able to say, we offered him an offer and they turned it down. Now, what's up, anti-humble?
Hey, I had looked up what your topic, and you not lying, bro. Like I hate when people get on here without the facts and they just say you lying without looking up stuff. It's easy.
But
You can easily look this stuff up, bro.
So
You
Benavidez,
say,
but check this out, anti humble. Check this out.
when was he offered?
Even though I'm not lying, there's articles. I wasn't there.
yeah, it's
I'm just
multiple
going off what was
articles.
reported. But I believe it. You know why I believe it? You know why I believe it? Because the way that this shit is set up, Canelo and them thought they was slick. Fighters do this all the time. They try to lowball you or they try to overprice themselves so then you don't accept the first deal.
Yeah,
But when
they
Benavidez
literally do
accepted
that
the
all the
deal, it
time.
fucked up the entire plan.
Bro, you just had a perfect point when you said the Earl Spence Bud thing. Earl literally didn't have to give him 50-50, bro.
He
He
did
didn't.
not. But Errol wanted that
He
smoke.
wanted that
Errol,
smoke, bro. That's the difference.
Errol got it. You got to tip your hat off to him. He one of the only ones out there that really, really wanted that
Yeah,
smoke.
he
He
wanted
gave
that
him that
smoke, bro. That was the only
50-50.
way that fight was gonna get done, bro.
Yep.
Bud was being a dipshit in negotiations, knowing you not the A side, like it or not. Canelo fans, y'all don't like to hear this shit, but Canelo, yeah, he the A side, bro. So he's not the only A side in boxing. So you gotta compare what other A sides do in boxing too.
Oh, hey, yo, anti-humble. I figured it out. The dude wasn't listening to what the fuck I was saying. That's why he in here sounding crazy in the chat. Danny, I already know that David Benavidez is fighting at light heavyweight.
Yeah, he fighting for
I'm talking about why the negotiations with him and Canelo fell through. So before you start chatting, make sure you pay attention. Maybe get some
yeah,
Q-tips. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
David moved up because of that BS offer, bro.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
started
they
got
moved.
tired
No,
of
they
chasing
didn't
the
care about
man.
the offer. They accept the offer. Benavidez said, "I'll take 5 million." Basically, he's saying, "I will fight you for free, damn near." Opportunity to fight you because Benavidez wanted that smoke. The only man who truly wanted that smoke with a rival was Errol Spence Jr. Devin Haney didn't really
Yeah,
want it because he offered 25%.
yeah.
Canelo offered Benavidez 5 million.
Bro,
But if you really want
Diego.
that smoke with a rival, offer him the 50. Offer him
Bro,
50. Can't
Diego,
nobody turn
ain't
down 50.
nobody saying David is the A side versus Canelo. Nobody's saying that. Clearly, Canelo is
Man,
the A
David,
side,
David,
but
David came in as a Z side. That
Canelo,
motherfucker said, "I accept 5 million." That's a Z side.
Canelo
He
can't
said,
be
"Fuck it."
expecting to get 70 million to fight David and then offer him five. Come on, man, that's a financial duck.
Yes, but no, it's not a duck because David accepted it. When David
No, no,
accepted it,
I'm
Canelo
saying
still.
on Canelo part, that's a
Oh yeah, of
financial
course.
duck. You
But
can't
but
offer a man five and then turn down 55.
exactly. And I read about that Canelo was going to get 55 to fight David, but Canelo doesn't want to fight David Benavidez, and at this point we got to accept it. They
Yeah,
said
we gotta
Canelo
accept that,
no.
bro.
Canelo thought he was playing chess, and he got checkmated. He did not expect Benavidez to accept such a low offer. He did not expect them to realize, even if they fight Canelo for $5 million, and this was Shakur Stevenson should have realized, even if you fight Devin Haney for 25%, once you win, you're gonna make so much more money down the line.
Hey,
And
say
Benavidez,
Ricardo.
they looking at the future.
Hey,
But
say big
Canelo, he
bro.
ducking this man. He
Hey,
ducked. This is
KJ.
duck. He ducking
I got a
him.
question for you, KJ.
Yo,
Why do okay? It's this narrative going around that the Canelo. I'm not saying I'm not a Canelo fan. So when I say Canelo fans, I'm saying the ones that make the stupid excuses. So why would they say, well, if he fight David, y'all gonna say he ducking somebody else? So, bro, that's the excuse that y'all making because y'all don't want him to
listen.
fight David.
They don't want exactly that.
So, like, I'm
Listen.
not if he
Canelo
fight
fans,
David,
they
y'all
want
gonna
to
say he
protect
ducking
him.
such and such. No, we want him to
Yeah.
fight David.
First
That's
off,
who
it's
we
two
want him to
reasons.
fight.
It's two reasons. It's two reasons. I'm gonna tell you. Number one, they try to act like Canelo is Floyd or something. Like, no, Canelo gets his just due, and Canelo isn't that good to where as though every time he wins, they're looking for his next
Next
opponent. Like,
opponent,
he's
come
not
on,
that.
man. They selling wolf tickets. If he fight
Exactly.
David, y'all gonna say he ducking him. If he fight him, no. If he, we want him to fight David. Let's get that through y'all's head.
Thank you.
David,
That's why Canelo. Hey, do you know Canelo hasn't been on the top 10 pay-per-view list since he fought Floyd Mayweather? But he's been the face of boxing
come on,
for the
man.
past
This is what
decade.
they don't understand. They confuse face of boxing with pound for pound king of boxing. That's what they confuse. Canelo, the best boxer in the game. No, Canelo is the face of boxing, the highest selling boxer in the game.
Yep.
Canelo's best wins are tighter than a nun's booty hole.
Mm.
They're tight. He has
Mm.
controversial wins. A lot of them.
Like the Triple G
One,
saga type wins.
Triple G, Trout, Lara type wins that are controversial that a lot of people say can go any way. I just said Canelo is the face of boxing. What part of that don't you understand?
Now check this out. Canelo the face of boxing, but Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia outsold his ass. You know why? They gave the fans a fight that
What
had
they
public
wanted.
interest.
Yeah, they
If
gave the fans what they
Canelo
wanted.
really wanted to get back in that top 10 pay-per-view sales, he would have been fought David Benavidez.
Man, and then they keep saying David don't sell, right? If David versus Canelo doing 1.5 million pay-per-view sales
At least.
easily.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we
What's
can
up,
hear you,
man?
sir.
Yeah, I just want to say something real quick. You see how keep this in mind, right? Y'all think that offer, that 5 million offer, was real?
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to keep that in mind, right? I just seen that. I just looked it up. Right, Liam Smith has received 8 million, 10 million, fighting Canelo. So if y'all tell me that Liam Smith is more of a popular guy than Benavidez, then
It's not
No,
about
no,
that.
no, it's not
Canelo is the one
about
who sent the
popularity.
offer.
Yeah, let them know. Let them know.
It's not about
Making it hard
popularity.
for Benavidez to accept the fight, but
Michi, yeah, listen, Michi, you missing it, bro. You missing the point.
yeah,
Canelo sent him the bare minimum because he thought Benavidez was going to say, "I want more money." When Benavidez said, "I want more money," then he was going to say, "Look, I sent him an offer. He rejected it," or he was
The
going to say, "He's not worth more."
the question you
When
should be,
Benavidez accepted it,
yes, sir.
Canelo's team was taken aback. They was okay. What the fuck do we do now? That's why the negotiations stopped.
The
yeah.
He
question you
never
should be
wanted to
asking
fight him.
is,
That's why he lowballed him.
why is he offering the Smiths of the world $8, $9 million and the Davids of the world $5 million? That's what you should be asking yourself.
Somebody said Canelo got y'all so mad.
Well, how does
Oh,
he have
okay.
us mad?
What the
I
No,
want
no,
hell?
him
no.
to fight
It's just people.
David.
It's just trolling. We just want to see the one of the best fights in boxing.
I want to see David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez because that's the Mexican monster versus the face of boxing. Winner takes all. Because what they
That would
say,
be the greatest. That'd be the
y'all say
biggest
y'all don't want
Mexican
to,
fight.
y'all don't like seeing the sweet science. Y'all don't want to see people quote unquote. David Benavidez fast hands power. Canelo
David
Alvarez
don't
body
run.
toe. They no bagging up. They're gonna bang each other out.
No
What
running.
am I missing here?
What you're missing is people lie. They act like they want. This is what they want. They want Canelo to go out on top. That's really what they want. They don't want him to go out getting knocked out. They don't want him to go out getting a
Bloody
TKO. They want him to go on top. They don't care if he's in there getting matched up with people's grandmothers. They do not want him to fight somebody that's a
But they
real
say
threat to the
stuff like
throne.
this. But they say
It's
this
gonna
type of
break their
stuff.
heart.
David is going up to 175, right? He's going to be up there
Yep.
fighting the people that they saying Canelo. Oh, he's too paquito. He just went up there. He's too little. But y'all saying he'll bang out David though, right? But he's too little to be at 175. Bivol was too big for him though, right? But
And
if David
Benavidez
beat Bivol, what
is
y'all gonna
bigger than
say?
Bivol.
But y'all saying he
Benavidez
should
is
have
bigger
been
than
moved
Bivol.
up. He should have been. But y'all wasn't saying Canelo should have been moved up when he was fighting at a 155 catch weight. Y'all wasn't saying that though. David versus Canelo should be on the menu before Canelo Alvarez slow down even more than what he is, bro. Y'all say, well, it don't count because he was too old.
Look, I accepted a few months ago that Canelo was never going to fight David Benavidez. Once I saw David going up to light heavyweight, that confirmed what I had already suspected.
Crawford
Canelo
beat
Alvarez at
Jose
this point,
Benavidez,
there
not
was a
David
time when
Benavidez.
Canelo Alvarez, somebody now you talking about Canelo was 5'8", you know that, right? We don't give a fuck. Y'all wasn't
Bro,
saying that we went up to
Roberto
light
Duran
heavyweight.
was 5'6" and he went up to light heavyweight.
No, Duran went up to middleweight.
I thought he
Tyson was
beat
small. He
I
was
thought he
crushing
beat
people.
boy at 170 or one.
Barkley, you talking about
Yeah,
Barkley, right?
Barkley. Never mind.
Yeah, that was a middleweight fight. That was a
I thought
middleweight
that was
fight.
168.
Yeah, but that's middleweight though. That's not light heavyweight.
That's
And another thing is, look how
That's
small
super
Tank is.
middleweight. That's super middleweight. My bad, super
Yeah.
middleweight.
You see how
That's super
small Tank
middleweight.
is, and Tank is smashing people. So height's got
Bro,
nothing
height,
to do with it.
it's weight class, not height class. Mike Tyson was 5'10" at heavyweight.
Yeah,
Mike
Durant.
was undersized and knocking out bigger guys on the regular. Hey,
Come on,
Don
man.
Judah, what's up,
What's
man?
up?
Come on,
Durant did go
Sergey
to light.
Kovalev. Sergey Kovalev is like 7 inches taller than Canelo, bro. Stop that. Like Canelo made it a living off. Like, come on, man, stop that. Now y'all want to use height excuses. First it was he don't sell, then it was the offer was fake, then it was he'll kill David. Now he's only 5'8".
Well, Durant did go.
Javier Alvarado, you need to follow
Hey,
boxing because
hey,
he's already signed to fight at 175.
hey, hold up, anti-humble. I'm gonna let my man Don Judah speak his piece. What's up, Don?
Yeah, what's up? Durant did go to 175, but those are old garbage fights. He was
Okay.
that was just for the payday. It wasn't. He knew he wasn't gonna win no title.
Hey, and you got to watch those fights, Duran live in the '80s and stuff, right, Don?
Yeah, my bad. I thought that was
Yeah,
175.
Durant was a great.
That
No,
Barkley
no, he
fight.
said no. He said you was right. Duran went to 175, but he didn't fight Barkley at
Yeah,
175.
yeah, I thought it was
But he said that he
Barkley.
knew he wasn't going to
No,
win
Barkley was
the
middleweight.
fights at light heavyweight. He was just getting a little check on his way out.
Yeah, that's all it was. He was 50 years old, damn near.
Talking about
Hey, I got a
Iran
question for
Barkley?
you. Hey, did he
No,
win
no,
that
you talking
fight?
about Durant. He won some of them,
Okay.
but he didn't fight no top light heavyweights. It's just money fights. But what you
Yeah,
Yeah, I
talking
wouldn't
because
about?
his
expect
name
it.
his
Canelo
name was
offered,
so big.
also, Canelo offered Benavidez the minimum.
5.5 million, and then guess what happened?
He accepted it.
Yup, and then it was Casper the Friendly Ghost. Canelo turned into a goddamn ghost, man. Danny
You know,
Phantom.
you know why? Because that's a tactic that they use when they don't want to fight people.
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
happens
And
for
you know what's
years.
crazy? They thought that Benavidez was going to ask for more. That would have allowed them to say,
Yeah,
we sent him an offer. He didn't want that offer.
exactly.
But when he accepted it, it fucked up the whole plan.
That Roy Jones did that to Bernard Hopkins on the rematch.
Man, that shit there is tactical, bro.
That's pretty funny, honestly.
Errol Spence did that to Crawford when they first was making the plan, but he admitted it.
But guess what? Errol, this one I said Errol really wanted that smoke. Errol gave a man who was in the A side 50-50 because Errol really wanted to fight Terrence Crawford. Although it didn't favor him with the results. He showed like I want to fight this man. I'm serious about my legacy. I'm serious about my rivals.
Yeah.
Canelo has not showed that shit at
Nope.
all when it comes to David Benavidez.
Man, I'm
Nope.
still mad he gave it, man, 50-50.
I'm not mad. That fight happened. That fight is one of the most historic fights. Welterweight
Man,
undefeated.
I watched it. I'm gonna tell you, and this is gonna sound controversial. Earl Spence still my favorite fighter. He one of my favorite fighters of all time to this day. I watched that fight. You know how you see something you like a car crash, right? You ain't supposed to look at it, but like you staring at it, bro. I watched
Right.
that fight all night so many times, confused. Like, oh, like what went wrong? I don't that wasn't Earl Spence, bro. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. I didn't see.
Yeah, that was
All
Errol
I
Spence.
seen was
Listen,
that Earl Spence pressure. I didn't see the snap. I didn't see. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave
we
it
know
there.
that Errol messed up. Errol stayed. Number one is reasons. Not only did Errol stay at the weight class too long because he was always a weight bully, but he wasn't taking care of his body. He was gaining 20, 25 pounds in between
Man,
fights.
he
And then
looked
then the
like
car crash. It was just a
he
lot of
ran.
different things.
I've
With all
I've
that being
never
said,
seen
though, when
no
you look
shit
at the
like that.
styles, I think Terrence Crawford would have still won.
There you go. I was getting ready to say that. Styles,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, yeah. Hey, I'm gonna give him his credit. I was just about to
Don't mean
say,
you can do against another.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It looked like he was just like
He
ran
was,
into. This is
Bud
my
was going to
perfect
beat him no
analogy.
matter what, but still can't
His
take credit away
style.
from him.
Like
No,
that pressure
This is my
style that he
thing,
got,
though.
he had too much balls. You feel what I'm saying? And Bud's
No, no,
style,
listen,
now I'm
listen.
saying Bud's style was like he was getting beat down, but that man did not. He wanted to go down on his shield. He kept coming
Yeah,
forward,
you
bro.
talking about Errol?
Wasn't no
Yeah,
bouncing around. He didn't get on his. I wanted him to get on
I think
out of third round.
Spence
Get
would
on
have
your
died before
toes.
he quit. Like, even when the ref stopped the fight, you saw
Yeah,
him holding his
Spence
hands up
was
like,
ready to give
what?
his life. And unfortunately, one thing that I disagree with Derek James, he was going to allow Spence to give his life. I didn't
Yep,
like that.
yep,
Um,
yep,
but
but
yep.
you
here's the
got
He
to
was
thing.
gonna
Here's the
know
allow
thing,
that man to
man.
go out.
Spence is a
Errol
Jamaican
Spence,
warrior, brother. Jamaicans don't
Yep.
put up in that
exactly.
ring.
That shit was some warrior
Errol
shit. He
Spence,
got beat
at the end
down,
of the
bro.
day, man, that man gave Crawford 50-50. He put on the show that everybody wanted us to see. He didn't perform well, but he did what Canelo was not really willing to do. And even when you look at Devin Haney and Shakur, Devin could have gave Shakur 50-50. Fuck, if y'all really want to make these fights happen to where somebody can't run, just do the 50-50.
Yeah, and I'm
And
a
then if you
Devin
beat him,
fan.
then in the
But,
rematch, okay, you're not getting 50-50 no more. You don't deserve it.
like,
Yeah,
here's an example.
But
Like,
that'll change a lot of shit. 50-50. If you don't take that, your ass is running. Benavidez took 5 million.
Bro,
And that
why
also
y'all
makes
think we
Shakur
never
look bad
seen
as
the
well.
Wilder AJ fight, bro? Because they wouldn't humble each other enough to fucking negotiate them
No, that's
percentages,
not why we
bro.
didn't see the Wilder AJ fight. Wilder sent AJ. AJ tried to overprice himself. Wilder sent him the money.
Yeah,
AJ
yeah,
didn't want that
I
fight
know
at that
that
time.
offer they sent them. I'm talking about, but he didn't want to. AJ didn't want to get a man his just due, is what I'm saying. He didn't respect him. He felt like
No,
I'm the
no,
big
listen,
fish.
listen. Wilder would have fought AJ for less money.
yeah.
AJ didn't want to fight Wilder or Fury at the time. He said it. He said, I'm going to be here long when them guys are gone. He didn't feel comfortable at that time fighting those dudes. But now he's already taken losses. He's lost to Usyk twice. Now he doesn't give a fuck.
Hey, I tell
Because
y'all
he's
though, man,
learning
that
not to care
motherfucker done
about the
got
media,
better
the
since he
outside
took them
world.
losses.
Hmm?
A lot of fighters duck, man. You just
Yeah,
you just get fighters that look at other fighters like AJ looked at Wilder and was like, man, I ain't fighting that dude.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
it,
right.
it,
Yeah,
it
you're
happened.
right.
Listen,
That's
Yeah,
all.
that's
yeah,
why.
you're
That's why
right. Yeah,
somebody
you're
like
right.
Roberto Duran, someone like a Roberto Duran, that motherfucker fought everybody, and Errol Spence has that quality. Errol could have said, "No, I'm not fighting Terrence. Terrence is dangerous, and he's trying to get 50-50."
Yeah.
Like that's why it's like the way that people are trying to rank on Errol. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about in the boxing media. People was trying to rank on and make jokes. Do y'all want great fights or not? Put some respect on these men's name. A lot of reasons why the fights don't happen is because people know they're gonna be so
Hey, you know
ran
what?
through the mud just
Hey,
by
what you
getting
just said
beaten.
right there, I think that's why these fights not happening, bro. The way these media
Yeah,
been running Earl Spence name through the oh, he got this, he got that. He gave
That's
us
what.
what we wanted. Pound
That's
for
why.
pound
bruh.
versus pound for pound.
That's why you're not getting Tank fighting anybody because he got his name
Yeah.
out there. He go out
Motherfuckers
there and
don't want to
fight
get embarrassed.
and get knocked out. He loses all his reputation. There's a
Man, I'm
50-50
about to
chance
go.
he can
Man,
come
I'm
back.
about to go tweet Arrow. I'm about to go tweet Arrow,
Oh
bro.
shit. Don Judah said Tank knocking everybody out, but if you go out there and get knocked
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
but no,
Hey, I'm gonna keep real with you. I got David
that's the
versus
thing
Tank
though.
50-50.
Let me tell you something that I learned from that Errol Spence fight too. Anything can happen. Errol, we never even seen Errol get dropped.
Man, I
You know what I'm
never
saying?
seen him
So
get
Errol
hit
has a
that many
great
times
chin.
like
We
that.
never seen that. So
No, he got
somebody like
dropped.
Tank with a great chin, he could definitely get knocked out. It's boxing. But one thing that we was talking about last time Don Judah was up here, Duran fought Tommy Hearns, somebody that he didn't really have no business fighting. He
Exactly.
got his ass knocked spark out. But we all can accept that Roberto Duran is one of the greatest boxers of all time.
Yes, he is indeed.
So
No
guess
doubt
what?
about
But
it. And I used to
actually,
be biased
People
that's
against him.
something.
people have to get. I'm gonna land this plane real fast and let you go. People have to get over the fact that it can be great, but in a sport like boxing, you can get your ass knocked out. When the fans get over that reality, because a lot of people are casual nowadays, when they accept that, the sport is gonna be better.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, you're right. Because back in
Actually,
the day, the only people that really watched boxing were real boxing fans.
Right.
Nowadays, you get everybody casual because the money is so big that
Because the world is more connected through the social media.
yeah, they looking at people with a bag. Oh, this dude got this money here. Floyd Mayweather got us. We watching. They casuals because the way they looked at Floyd, they never gave him his props. Dude was a
Yep.
great fighter, man. Like with 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 his the way he limited himself to preserve himself. If you didn't respect his defensive part, you don't know boxing. You're not a boxing fan. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
It is what it is. You got to love all aspects of boxing, not just a knockout.
Because it's called the sweet
Yeah,
science. That's why people try to say Shakur Stevenson is born. No, Shakur Stevenson is a scientist with experiments that are different than the average science. That's how I look at this shit. His experiments are not experiments that are the usual little formula. Usually people they want to see that knockout or they want to see a bunch of hands getting thrown. But one thing that I will say, as far as Shakur, he has to adapt to his environment. We're living in an environment of instant gratification. So what does that mean? That means you're gonna have to be more action packed if you want to stick in the minds of these fans. But
exactly.
back in the day, somebody like Willie Pep was doing the same shit, and they was praising him.
Facts. Hey, KJ, I got a
Yeah,
question. Hey, David and Canelo, they neither one of them are black, right?
you said David and Canelo.
Yeah, neither.
David Benavidez, when you look at him, it's clear that he has Aboriginal DNA. Like somebody in that tree look like us.
He
Because
Oh, okay.
Nicaraguan
No,
or something.
I was just
When you look
asking.
at
I was
Canelo,
just
He
asking
has
because
Canelo like a
Mexican and
Caucasian.
Ecuadorian.
Canelo like a
somebody said you
Caucasian.
was biased or something towards Mexicans and for black people, and I was just saying we wanted David
Well,
versus
this is
Canelo, and neither were
Well,
black.
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Somebody said I'm biased towards Mexicans and black people. Canelo don't look like a Mexican. He looks white.
That,
David
like
Benavidez
yeah,
looks
that's
like
why
he
I was
could be
like
Dominican.
Mexican. Like that's
So
what I'm
that's
saying. Like neither are
it's
like
irrelevant to
what I
this
would
fight.
call black. Like it's irrelevant is what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
let's
that's what I
talk
was saying too.
boxing.
That's what I was saying
Yeah,
too.
stop
Well,
trolling. Let's talk boxing. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's not, no. When I said I was biased towards
No, not you, not
Duran when
you.
I was younger, it was because boxing was different back then. Boxing was about your country, and
Yeah,
it was like okay, Mexicans fight the Puerto Ricans. That
Yeah,
they changed that a little bit. But it was deeper back then. So I was a little
yeah.
biased of Duran, even though my brother considered Duran the greatest fighter ever. That's his opinion. But me, I looked at it different, not because he wasn't, it's because he wasn't black. But I was
I
younger
think
then. I was
Hey,
much.
well, my thoughts on that, I think with the social media era now, we got more access to more fighters, so people should have a more diverse, you know what I'm saying? We can see everybody now. Some people grew up here, they only can see this people, they only can see that people. We can see everybody now.
Here's the thing, man. At the end of the day, I'm black, so when I see a black fighter, I'm rooting for him. But I also have a brain, so I could see if a black fighter in there was somebody who more skilled than him.
Yeah, feel me?
It don't
I can
matter what
see
the
that.
race
You
is
know
or
what
the
I mean?
man is. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And KJ,
So it's just like I'm gonna stick with the code, but I'm gonna keep it. At the end of the day, I'm gonna keep it real.
Keeping a
I'll give you an
bean.
example. Jamel Charlo. Before the fight, I said Jamel Charlo has a very, very low chance of winning this fight.
Before
He's
that
too
fight, I'm gonna keep
small,
real with you.
and even if they was the same weight class, Canelo has more skills than Jamel Charlo.
I
When
thought
I look at
Canelo
the
was gonna
eye test,
stop Jamel. I always wanted Jamal to fight him.
If he
I
would have
always
yeah, I
fought
wanted Jamal to
I
fight him a
Canelo,
wanted
couple years
Jamal
ago.
to fight him. I always said
Yeah,
Mel, the way he fight, he leave himself open and he a lunger. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
He's a lunger. He's a super athletic lunger. You feel me? He get tagged a lot. Canelo, that's food for
Yeah.
Canelo.
Yeah.
right.
He should have
Canelo's a
knocked
great
out
counterfighter.
Charlo, but it's hard to knock
He
out
fought
someone
past
who's
it.
made up their mind that they're just going to survive the rest of the fight.
Yeah, Charlo wasn't trying to win. He
Exactly.
was trying to make it to the 12th round.
That's
he's
So
what I
trying
yeah.
to some.
meant. If Charlo would have fought, he would have got knocked out. That's what I
Yeah,
meant.
I thought he was gonna knock him out before the
And
fight.
if Charlo would have really, really fought to try to win, who the hell knows what would have happened? Like Canelo is
Yeah,
not no,
yeah, he could have
he's
tagged
not an
Canelo.
unbeatable fighter.
He got
I watched Roberto Duran and the Iran Barkley fight again, and it's like if Charlo had that much skill level, I mean, I don't think he has nowhere near the skill level of Duran. I mean, Charlo's really good, but Duran was special. But if Charlo had that skill level,
Yeah.
he would have beat Canelo because
and
Duran was
what's
making like
crazy,
all the right
he got a
moves. So
chin,
Yeah,
bro.
but I
He got
couldn't
a
compare
chin.
Charlo to Durant at all. I just couldn't do it. Durant was
huh?
that great. I couldn't even see him even attempting to do it either Barkley or Durant.
Hey, we got a
Both
girl
I'm
in
not
here.
better
saying I'm not
fighters than
saying
him.
that Charlo could do that. I'm saying that it wasn't when if Charlo had that he could beat Canelo. I'm just saying that people act like Canelo is some unbeatable fighter.
Oh no,
Canelo
he already
got two
lost.
losses and he also should have more.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah,
other fight like the Lara fight he should have
Longest
lost that
fight,
fight.
the longest
So,
I think
fight.
he should. I think he should have
but
4 losses personally.
I'm saying Jamel Charlo went in there with a mentality like he couldn't win. But he understood different angles and shit like that. He would have. You never know what could happen.
Yeah,
But when you go in there, you just like, I'm just going to survive. I'm here for a check. You're not going to
I
win.
always looked at the Charlos as very undisciplined fighters, like very
Yeah.
undisciplined. They have all
Look,
the athletic
I think
characteristics.
In the world, athletic is shit.
Hey,
Yeah, but they
yeah, because
can't put it together.
before Jamal did his little hiatus thing, people were talking to him like the next great sibling pair in boxing, like the Spinks brothers or the Klitschko's. And now look
Yeah.
at them.
For boxing, you got to stay at it every day. And if you don't stay at it every day, you're going to
KJ,
lose.
I know you don't know.
That's just what it is.
I,
You can't be in the club getting drunk and all of that stuff. It's just you can't do it.
Yeah,
I
that
know,
layoff was a
I know
part
you
of
don't
it.
agree with me, KJ, but I thought Austin Trout beat Canelo, not by a lot.
I didn't think so.
But it's because of the
I
knockdown.
didn't
You
think so.
probably think you won. That's all. I
Well,
thought that.
actually, with the Rand and Barkley, it was the knockdown
Yeah, it was the
because Barkley
knockdown,
was
Yeah,
bro.
winning the fight. Until he,
yeah. Well, the knockdown sealed the deal.
yeah,
Yep, it was a
knockdown
knockdown.
sealed the deal.
But Duran was boxing that man up every other round,
Yeah.
and Duran was landing that damn right hand. So it was a counter
Uh-huh.
right. He was landing that shit so clean. He had hurt Barkley early in the damn fight. They both hurt each other early in the fight, but somehow Duran was able to put Barkley on his ass, and that's what really set the difference. Like y'all said,
Yeah.
I just watched that fight yesterday, man. That shit is amazing.
Boy, Barkley
I
was that
watched
was a
that
big
fight
ugly
when it
motherfucker.
happened, and I loved that fight. But I was so hurt that my man Barkley lost. I was hurt.
Hey, that's how everybody I was rooting for Errol Spence, man. And I wasn't hurt that Errol lost. I was hurt in the manner in which he lost. That shit had me fucked up
Yeah,
But you got to
like a
remember,
whole week.
Barkley was my big brother in the gym, so he was actually in our gym. That's a New Yorker. It's different with other people, but
And it's
Barkley was like
personal. It was
personal. Yeah,
personal for you.
personal. Yeah,
Yep.
it's personal.
And then it's like, damn, when you go back in the gym, you got it's like a little awkward moment where it's like, you still great to me, man. You know what I mean?
hey, can
Yeah,
you hear
Uh,
me?
well, that's how it is sometimes. Boxing is a very tricky. You could be on top today and at the bottom tomorrow.
yep.
But when you win the
So
title,
Hearns versus Duran is fair. No, Hearns versus Duran wasn't fair at all. But at the end of the day, Durant got his ass in that ring,
Yeah,
and Durant got knocked out. But what I was saying is that nobody looked at Durant differently. Even after Durant quit with Ray Leonard, he had to rebuild after quitting. But right now, remember his full greatness, his full body of work. If
yeah,
Canelo were to fight David Benavidez, I will remember Canelo for his full body of work. If he lose, David is bigger than him. He's not supposed to win. But that's what makes you great. That's why Muhammad Ali is called the greatest because he beat George Foreman.
yeah,
You know what I mean? He beat Sonny Liston. He was an underdog both times.
yeah,
If you really want to go down as a GOAT, you win the fights that you're supposed to lose.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
That's exactly how you become a GOAT. You beat people that you're expected to lose to.
Exactly. Yep.
Or people that, are other great fighters, Hall of
Yeah.
Famers. If you got Hall of
Yep.
Famers on in their prime on your resume, you gotta
You're
go
one of
there.
the best to ever do
There's
it.
no other way.
Period.
There's nobody can ever reverse that. You beat Hall of Famers, champions. So you're not a Hall of Famer? I beat a Hall of Famer, a couple of Hall of Famers in their primes. I am a Hall of Famer.
Exactly. Exactly, and that's why some people's careers, like you was going in on Roy, like when Roy got that's the thing though. Roy does have a early win on B Hop, and then he has a win on James Toney, but the circumstances around it. But for the most part, he didn't really have a full resume of champions and Hall of Famers. So people will get on you when they look back. Canelo is the opposite. Canelo has a full resume of champions, and he has a few Hall of Famers like Triple G. But right here, this David Benavidez fight, this shit would etch him in history. If he beat David Benavidez, nobody would never forget this man's name. I wouldn't even argue with a Mexican who tried to say like, "Oh man, Canelo the greatest boxer ever." I'm gonna know that it's Floyd or somebody, Ray Robinson, but I'm not gonna argue too much. Cause I'm be like, damn, if I was Mexican and I watched Canelo beat David Benavidez, I'd be saying the same shit. So Canelo, he running right, sadly.
Yeah.
That's on him.
How old is Canelo?
And it's
He's 33. He's not too
He's
old.
about
really?
my
He never
age.
had fast
no,
feet,
but
and he never
no,
had
but he
good stamina. So it's like
no,
Well,
but he
well,
his
started
33 is
well,
like
fighting
Floyd's
very
37.
early,
well,
and he's been
well,
going through wars lately. So he's
well,
lived an entire lifetime in the ring.
well, KJ, you have to understand something. Maybe Don is the only one who can understand this because I'm elderly. I'm 34. I'll be 35. Don is older. You actually are stronger in your 30s than you are in your 20s. You really are. Your body is just growing. Like you look at Pacquiao. He wasn't dominant like that in his 20s. You look at
I mean,
Mayweather. You know
Pacquiao
what I
was
mean?
look. I agree with you, but Pacquiao was on that shit. But listen, I agree with you because look, everybody always talks about grown man strength. When you watch Floyd, Floyd was walking dudes down that second stretch of his career that
Yeah.
you wouldn't even be expecting him to walk. Like he was walking down Shane, walking down Cotto. Of course,
Foreman when he came
huh?
Yeah,
back.
but your
Look at
strength is the last to go. It's not only the strength, it's your timing, your
Yep.
recovery skills, all that
You,
started to diminish when you get older.
yeah,
yeah,
your
it
your
do.
speed
It
your
do.
speed goes down, but your strength goes up.
Exactly. Look at
And
Foreman.
your timing could get better because you're more comfortable. All of that experience.
And look, what's that guy's name?
Yeah,
What's
but
Grandpa?
You're
What's
saying
Barroso? Look what he's doing to people, and he's
yeah.
like 40 years old. Like,
you got to
Like
this
you
No,
understand
no.
guy's
said,
that
a
everybody
Power
is
is the
not the
very last
same.
thing to go
Does
there.
does
Everybody
anyone
is not
really
the same.
believe that the Barroso is really 40 years old?
70, but or 60, but
I mean, Cubans sometimes lie on those ages.
yeah, like what's that guy's name? Is it the guy that Wilder knocked out, Ortiz?
Or
Oh
two.
yeah, Ortiz.
Yeah, King Kong was
Nobody
about
will
King,
argue
40.
his age, right?
he's
That
like
guy's got to be over 50.
he has to be. Yeah, he's like the same age as.
Yeah, but
Bro,
everybody gonna be
I
Hopkins
guarantee
and
you
George
he in his
Foreman.
50s, bro.
Like everybody gonna be Hopkins and George Foreman.
Exactly,
It's just
exactly.
not
Hey, can
how.
you hear me?
And
Yeah.
Bernard was so special because George was doing it because of the power.
Yeah,
Although he had more skills when he came back,
No,
but Bernard was doing it off of straight IQ and
skill.
taking care of his body hard
Yeah,
work.
because
Like that
I
man was
mean,
so smart in the ring. That shit is crazy.
yeah, and
I
that's
mean,
what
him
Yeah.
what he did
why
at
he never
light
got that
heavyweight
Roy
is
Jones
pretty
rematch.
extraordinary. Even considering he never got another knockout after Oscar De La Hoya.
I mean, he shouldn't even have been fighting. I mean, this man was in his 40s fighting
Yeah,
for belts
he
and
was
shit.
he was
Like,
beating up Tarver, he was beating up a lot of guys. So he didn't have to knock him out. He was winning
right.
unanimously. And he was like
He was winning with his brain. Like,
44 years old. And then he's a middleweight. He's a
yep.
natural middleweight. But even when he fought Roy Jones the first fight, he got much better after that fight. That's why he
Yeah, they
couldn't
call that man the alien for a reason.
get the rematch. Couldn't get the rematch. When Roy offered him, I
Yeah,
think he
because
offered him
he was at
20,
160, Roy was at
25% or
175, and neither
something.
one really wanted to compromise.
Look, man. At least they fought each other when they were young. Although B Hop was still developing. That damn what's that white boy?
Joey Calzaghe.
Yeah, Kawasaki, man. That shit was a damn shame.
Mic check,
He
mic
should
check,
have
mic check.
brought his ass over early in his career and fought them brothers. That would have been great for boxing, man.
Yep.
That would have been great for boxing.
But he caught them when they was old. And Bernard,
Yeah.
I don't know. I watched the Bernard fight over and over.
Kawasaki was able to retire undefeated too.
Yeah. I watched the Bernard fight over and over.
Yeah, they should have brought Calzaghe over to the
draw.
States a lot sooner than they did.
The knockdown.
That was purposeful though. That was purposeful. They knew that he wasn't going to win.
Yeah. If they was in their prime, they would have destroyed Joey Calzaghe.
Destroy. Especially Roy would have made him look silly.
Yeah.
Bernard would have beat him, but Roy would have made him look silly.
And even then, Roy knocked him down in that first round.
Yeah, but Roy lost that fight. Clear as day. Bernard Hopkins in his fight was much closer.
Oh yeah, he definitely lost that fight, but he still was able to put him on the canvas.
Yeah, that was a flash knockdown.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that was more Kawasaki. I think Kawasaki was worried about Roy for so long that was more of a mental thing. Like, I'm really in here with Roy Jones.
Yeah.
And then once he got over that, it was just
it wasn't the same Roy.
Kawasaki had great hand speed.
Did you see that fight? I was looking at Roy terrible fighting more than I was looking at Joey. I was like, I couldn't believe he fell off that much. Like it was like day and night.
It's sad about Roy Jones because I don't know why, even after he dropped down to 175 again to go fight Tarver, why did he stay at 175 for so long after that? He was still, he must have been ruining himself.
You're not supposed to be, to be honest with you, you're not supposed to go up to heavyweight and then come back. You go up, you're not supposed to come back down.
I think he should have retired after he beat John Ruiz.
Yeah.
After he beat John Ruiz, he should have said, that's it for me. I'm not going to fight any heavyweights. I'm not a natural heavyweight. Thank y'all. I got this 5th title.
Or even after he scraped out that close one against Tarver, he should have left after that.
That too. He could have left after that too.
That wouldn't have been that would have been a bad because people would have been like, why you didn't rematch?
Yeah.
He should have left after he won that damn that heavyweight beat what was it? Ruiz or
John Ruiz.
Yeah. When he beat Ruiz, he should have called it. Everybody would have been calling him like the greatest boxer ever. Only a few people would have brought up the steroids and all that, but people would have been calling him the greatest boxer ever.
That is some Rocky shit for you to move up from light heavyweight to heavyweight and win a title. Well, I mean, I know Holyfield.
And when you started at middleweight.
From middleweight.
Let's not forget he fought the worst heavyweight champ probably ever. So let's not applaud him too much right now.
Yeah, I mean, Lennox was around at that time.
I mean,
Chris
that's
Bird,
the thing, though,
he
you're
could have
not supposed
fought
to be able
them.
to do it, so that's why he had to fight the weakest. That's like Devin Haney when they say, "Oh, Devin Haney going to 147, he's going to fight Josh Taylor," because you know damn well he's not going to fight Bud, he's not going to fight Boots. Like they just do it just to have it on the resume.
Yeah. I got the title. That's all I needed.
Chris Bird was around at that time, so he could have fought him, but I think they were friends.
Oh yeah, Chris Bird was a good heavyweight.
He had the title?
Yeah, I believe he did.
Yeah, he had the IBF.
Okay. That would have been a bad choice because Chris Bird had some speed. Yeah, a heavyweight.
Yeah, but not that much power.
Yeah, but if you guys seen what
Neither was Roy at heavyweight.
If you guys seen what Ika Biabuchi did to Chris Bird, holy shit! If you go on YouTube, you'll see
Ike destroyed himself going to prison. I saw when he fought Ike. When he fought what's the little short Tua?
David Tua. Oh yeah, he knocked out John Ruiz.
That was a war. He won that one. That's what he was on his way to stardom, but then he's a criminal.
He ruined himself.
He ruined himself.
He went to prison.
Yeah,
and he's still in there too. As a matter of fact, from what I heard.
What he did? I think he raped some RAP.
Yeah. I thought he got out.
No,
he got out. Yeah, but he's old now. He's like 50-something years old.
Yeah. His career is over.
Man, Don King is still caught that man up.
Yo, you know some funny stuff. Hey, yo, let me tell you something funny right now. You know Don King is from Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's from Cleveland, right? So my ex-wife lives in Cleveland, and she sends me this thing. They took Don King house and is up for sale. I'm like, how they take this rich man? I thought this dude was super rich.
But you know that's how the cookie crumble, man. You get over on a lot of people. You can't do wrong, get by, man. That man stole a lot of money from a lot of fighters.
Yeah, and they got it on there from Don King's estate. I was like, wow.
Look at the comparison. Don King is doing like barroom fights at this point. Bob Arum is
Yeah.
still putting on big fights.
Well, he picked up what's his name? Don King picked up
Broner.
Broner. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Broner literally done. Like they won't be Broner. I think Broner could still sell a fight with like probably Rolly or somebody,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
but
I don't think they gonna give
he
Broner the
can't
chance.
make
I think that
140.
I don't think he can make 140 though. He a little short, fat dude.
he got that, yeah, and he got that gut. But even if he could, I don't think that Floyd and them doing business with him because
Nah,
the way that Broner was disrespecting them
very
during
disrespectful.
his career, man.
Very
So I don't think
disrespectful.
they done on him.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
he's
mean, I
done with
think,
him.
but he is still very funny. Like, I remember last Father's Day, he made a post, a direct response to Regis Prograis, saying,
I don't think he's funny. I think he's an embarrassment. Other people might think he's funny, but I think he's an
Yeah.
embarrassment.
"Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Yeah,
yeah."
he is real ignorant.
Like, I
He
think
is pretty
when
ignorant.
he fought, what's his name, Maidana. When he fought Maidana, that ruined him. But when he started doing that little humping movement, I thought, oh, someone knocked this guy out.
Oh yeah, dude.
Madonna
That
did
was
it right back then.
that
He
had to have
lost
been the
like
most
terribly. That wasn't
embarrassing
even
night
good.
of Broner's life.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
that was his downfall. You
Yeah,
know.
it's and it's sad because everyone kept saying that this guy was
If
going to be the
Broner
next
had like
Mayweather.
better training methods and he could stay focused, his career there's no way how he wouldn't have been successful. Like he was so naturally gifted.
And listen what we talking about. We talking about a 3 division champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he already was. He already found a lot of success.
And he could have been a 4 division champion. He skipped 140.
Hmm.
So imagine he decided, nah, I'm not gonna go to 147. Too many dinners made him skip 140. So he went straight to 147. He could have been a 4 division champion. 130, 135, 140, and 147. But he skipped 140. So we talking about a fighter at one, and he was at that time he was the youngest 3 division champion ever.
About
Adrian
Broner.
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 Adrian
So
Broner.
yeah. So he looks horrible today to everybody in boxing, but this dude is a 3 division champion.
wait,
Yeah, he's
Don,
successful. He had a successful
Yeah.
career. He just wasn't Floyd. Like people keep saying when the next Floyd. The thing that made Floyd special was the focus. Floyd focused. He zoned in for 20
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Most men cannot lock into boxing each day, day in and day out for 20 years.
Yeah, he wouldn't
wait,
drink.
wait.
He
I have
wouldn't
a
smoke. He wouldn't go to a party. He
Floyd,
couldn't get Floyd to do nothing. Jack Zab Jr.
Floyd's
said that in a whole interview. He said we was friends as the amateurs. I couldn't get him to drink. I couldn't get him to smoke. I couldn't get Floyd to go to a party. All he wanted to do was get up and go run. He said, "Man, I'm tired of
That
that."
ain't a lot.
So,
Floyd
Boy, was
Floyd had
training, man. He
superhuman
be in the gym 24/7.
and determined. Well, what
Bernard Hopkins was the same way, but Bernard wasn't the natural athlete that Bernard was the same way.
wait.
yeah,
I have a question,
those
Don.
those
Don,
guys had superhuman dedication.
you
when you
think
look at
that Danny Garcia would have beat Broner at 140?
who,
Anyone? Do you think because Danny Garcia was a 140 champ, he knocked out Amir Khan? Do you really think that he would have beat Danny Garcia, Broner?
we don't know. I really can't say. I
Because the
don't know.
thing is that around the time he moved up to fight Maidana, that was around the time Broner or Garcia knocked out Khan, and Garcia was good at 140. We have to be honest. He's the power, that left hook and everything.
Yeah,
I don't
anytime
know.
you come from them cities with good, you can get good sparring. 9 times out of 10, if you focus and you dedicated and you got good trainers, you're gonna be a good fighter. Philly, Baltimore, Maryland, New York, Chicago. You got fighters that are so you got fighters that eliminate each other in
Hey, what
places
fighter
like
was
that.
good from Chicago?
Well, I can't really say right
Oh
now,
yes, Foodie was
but
talking about that. Nobody really,
you
not that
know,
I can
Yeah,
remember.
because there's not a lot of fighters out here where I'm from. That maybe I don't know.
well, maybe not now, but in the past, Detroit. When you from them type of cities, you always gonna get great fighters from them cities because the
Where
sparring.
Broner from
Cincinnati,
Cincinnati?
yeah, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah,
Now,
Hey, you know who else from Cincinnati?
you
Kelly
know, I
Pavlik.
had that.
Ezra Charles.
Yeah, I know, but I had that argument with somebody one time about because they was big enough Cincinnati, and they brought to my attention. They said Cincinnati had a great amateur boxing team. They won a lot of Golden Gloves. Not local. I don't even. People go crazy over local Golden Gloves. I don't. If you win the national Golden Gloves, that's what I look at. And they had a lot of national Golden Glove champs, and I didn't know that. He brought that to my attention, and he named Ezek Charles and some other fighters from Cincinnati, and I didn't know that because I never looked at Cincinnati as a boxing team
Yeah.
at all.
And Charles, Broner, and them of us could fight, and they tough. They tough as hell.
So I never knew that, but he brought that to my attention. And, well, I know for a fact when you got great sparring, it develop great fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like with any other sport. If you got your competition level in your city is good, you're gonna produce a lot of athletes from that city in that specific sport.
Because at the end of the day, it's the ones that are drilling each other. So, like, if people always are looking for like a magical coach, it's the athletes that put on the productions, the athletes that's doing actually making the event. It's the athletes that's in there sparring. So if they're pushing each other every day and they already at a certain level, they raising the level of their competition.
Yeah,
So that's how you really have a farm. You know what I mean? Really, a farm is just a place where there's a lot of natural talent, and you have adults to organize it and push the talent to the
and
limit.
right now in that city is Houston. A lot of
Oh yeah.
Houston fighters, a lot of people from Houston is coming up because they got
You know why
turned
though?
into a boxing
Because
city.
Houston is still Texas is still a place in America that's actually interested in
Yeah,
boxing. Most other places, like a lot of the cities where it used to be, oh, Philly, this, Baltimore, there's all football,
it's been
basketball.
like that. I won my first amateur fight in Houston. I mean, not Houston, Texas. My first fight was basketball.
I mean, that's how it's been in a while in America. It's just been football, basketball. But Texas, they still got that stronghold. They still
Yeah,
have people out there boxing. And another reason why is because
Yeah, yeah.
in Texas, you got a big Hispanic presence, a big
yeah,
Mexican presence
exactly.
as well. So yeah.
That's what I mean about that good sparring. You get all different backgrounds of sparring partners in
What
Texas.
background?
All different. So you see every style in Texas. You get the Mexican style. You even get the Puerto Rican style. You get the blacks that you spawn against every ethnic group.
Every
That's why
styles
it's a
though,
good
for real.
fight.
Hey, and you know what, Don Judah? Look, a lot of people who don't know boxing, whenever I start bringing up the whole, the black style, Puerto Rican style, Mexican style, they think it's a race thing. They don't understand. Different races, they move at a certain rhythm and in a certain way, and they have certain characteristics. That's why it'd be not. That don't mean
Yeah,
every
for
black
real.
fighter fight the same. You know what I
Well,
mean? But for the most part, a certain
Hey,
race of
did
people they
Errol
have the
Spence
same a
fight like a
similar training
Mexican?
style.
not really, but no, I wouldn't say that. I would say he a
Who?
combination of everything. I don't. To me, he didn't have enough bounce. He didn't have enough head movement. I
Yeah.
Who
think
did
if
they
he
say fight
had
like a
more
Mexican?
more
Spence.
I'm
bounce,
talking about Errol Spence.
yeah, Spence.
Oh
He,
no, no,
Yeah,
no.
he does.
Errol Spence, he actually started his career in the Mexican gym. That's why he prioritizes the body attack, and that's why he's
yeah,
so tough. But he don't fight. He doesn't fight like no like a Mexican. Like
Yeah.
Don Judas said, he
yeah,
kind of mixes it. Kind of mixes it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Errol Smith actually he grew up in New York, and I mean he was born in New York. And then, yeah, I didn't know that, but his parents are Jamaican, so
Yep.
he's his background still in blood wise. When I say that quit ain't in them, that quit ain't in them. That just ain't in
I,
Yeah.
them. I,
I remember that saying he said at this
Jamaica
press
is pretty
conference. He
stubborn.
said, "We Jamaican, we smoke bud."
yeah,
No, I don't know. Look, I read the Bible and stuff. The Jamaicans are some of the most stubborn people in the world. And that's going back to scripture. So I understand why Earl Spence was willing to give his life. There was and this for people who listen and who actually read the story. But there was a story about the tribe of Benjamin where they had done something wrong and they went to war with all the 11 tribes. And they pretty much had a fight to the death. They tried to beat 11 other tribes. These all people are all related to the point where the tribe of Benjamin was killed off and it was only like 300 of them left. That's how stubborn the Jamaicans are. And they were wrong. They were wrong what they did, but they didn't want to apologize.
yep,
So Errol Spence got that shit in his blood, and that's what we saw on display against Terrence Crawford. Errol was mad at the referee for saving his life. He looked at the referee like, man, what the hell?
yeah.
And he's like, Errol,
Let
I'm
me
my brother.
die. But that's how Mike McCallum was.
He was
Mike
he
Yeah.
was like,
McCallum
"Don't
was like
stop the
that.
fight, ref."
Simon Brown was
And don't
like
stop.
that. You know, he was a warrior. Simon Brown,
Yeah.
when Simon Brown got knocked out by Vincent Petway from Maryland, Vincent Petway knocked him out. Simon Brown was still fighting on the ground. The Warrior stayed. He was out completely.
Damn, but
He
still punching.
still was throwing punches, bro.
Wow, that's fucking
He was
amazing.
out. Go watch that Vincent. Go Google Vincent Petway versus Simon Brown. That was a good
I'm gonna have to put that in the
fight.
because I'm gonna have to do a video for this one too, just like the Saquon Barkley, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, he was knocked out, man.
That could have been. It could have been that
He
too.
was.
But
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at the video. He might. Sometimes when you like I'll give you an example. You're not box. Sometimes I'm asleep. I wake up punching. You know what I mean? So it's not far fetched that the man could have been knocked out and then punching unconsciously.
So
So
it's
like,
Because
funny
you
you say
bring it in
that.
so much, it becomes a part of you.
so like you're
Somebody
talking.
tapped me on my shoulder and I swung on him. It was just another true.
Hey, because you grew up in that damn gym and you competed,
Yeah.
so that's what's in. That's what
Yeah.
you put in your body.
Even when I
It becomes
wasn't
a
fighting, I
reflex.
still was in the gym. I trained fighters for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
I trained a lot of fighters. I wouldn't go into the pro, but I was training amateurs.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the knockout was like Wilder versus Sergey Liakovich. Do you remember that knockout?
No, that was crazy.
That was a
That's the
Yeah.
only.
that was really a knockout, but no, I'm still fight. Not just
Yeah.
twitches. You think about nerves. I'm not talking about his nerve. He was throwing punches on the ground, but his eyes was closed. Everything. He was out, and he still was throwing punches. Just look it up. And he was still throwing punches with both hands, not one hand twitching. Both hands was throwing a right hook,
And what is
left hook.
Simon
Yeah.
Brown versus who?
Vincent Petway.
Okay.
He from your town. He from Maryland. I don't know if he's from Baltimore. But he's from Maryland. Vincent Petway. He was the underdog. Simon Brown was the welterweight champ moving up. And he was the Petway was the underdog. After that knockout. And then he knocked out Terry Norris. So Simon
Yeah.
Brown got the fight with Terry Norris, knocked out Terry Norris, and then Terry Norris beat him in the rematch.
Terrible Terry Norris.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Wait.
Simon Brown was he bald?
Terry
Yeah,
Norris
yeah,
was.
yeah. He was
Yeah.
I was just letting Terry News. He had a crazy body attack.
He had
Yeah.
a
Wait,
nice left hook too. And he got
Don
caught
Judah.
with a left hook. Yeah.
Don Judah, you might notice. You might know this fight. Have you ever seen a fight between Terry Norris and Troy Waters?
No, I never seen that one.
Oh my!
Troy.
There's like 7 knockdowns in it, and they knock each other down like
Dang.
repeatedly, and they beat the hell out of you. There was a white boy, and it's obviously Terry Norris is black. They didn't give Troy
Yeah,
Waters
I
a
think I
chance,
know
and
who you're talking about though.
I
you
missed
do.
that one.
Hey guys, I'm tell them what's going on because people been asking questions because we didn't win all off track and shit, but it was good boxing knowledge. But for the people that's been asking, Canelo offered Benavidez the minimum he could offer him. He offered him 5.5 million, but he did that because he thought Benavidez was going to reject it. That would allow Canelo and his team to say we sent him an offer they didn't want it. Instead, Benavidez accepted it and got taken aback by that. They didn't expect that, so then they went ghost. They turned into Casper, and
Uh-oh.
the negotiations fell through. So
Boy.
Canelo tried to lowball David, but David actually accepted the offer, and then Canelo they just went away because the man doesn't want to fight David Benavidez. And shout out to David. And this is the thing about Shakur Stevenson why he should have said the Devin Haney fight. David's father, Jose Senior, said we will fight Canelo for the minimum because in the future we're gonna make more money in the future just by being in the ring with him, win, lose or draw. That's how you got to look at it when you're going up against somebody who has more
Yeah.
star power than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canelo might be trying to protect himself, but he's actually doing himself a disservice because in that weight class, the only other guy who will make you that big amount of money is Benavidez, and the same goes for Benavidez. Canelo
Yeah,
will make you that big
that's why
money.
Canelo hasn't been on the top 10 pound for pound. I mean, pay-per-view since all Floyd because the fight that everybody want to see, the fight that could potentially put him back in those big numbers, is against Benavidez. All the big fights, it has to be a form of parity.
Yeah.
Like Ali and Frazier, you knew it was going to be action packed. You didn't know who was going to win.
Yeah.
That's why it's there. Floyd and Pacquiao
Yeah.
is there. We didn't know who people had been anticipating for years. We didn't know who was going to win. Now Ryan and Tank, that shit is there because the social media shit. But I knew like anybody with eyes knew Tank was going to win that fight. But that's number 6 on the all-time pay-per-view list. But
Yeah.
most of the time, the thing that gets you on the pay-per-view list is parity. We don't know if Canelo could beat Benavidez. We don't think
Hey,
he
when,
can.
when he signed the
Fans deep
contract?
down, they don't think he can. That's why they keep trying to defend him and say who has David fought. So that's why people will tune into this shit.
Well, it'd be Canelo. If he would sign the contract,
I mean,
who did David fight?
yeah,
Exactly.
Let it be
I can
that.
say who did he fight? Like after the fight, he can say, "Well, I fought you."
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah, he can
that's
say
what
that
I
too,
look
though.
at it as
That's another duck argument right there. That's what they say. He hasn't fought nobody. That's a way to duck somebody.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
neither
It's
did
a
almost
lot
like
of
the
people
same as
say
those
that
that
though.
fought.
Who Benavidez had fought and stuff.
Canelo fought a
But that
bunch of
don't
fighters
matter.
that didn't fight anybody.
Right.
So
But now
Like,
all of a sudden
like
they give it them.
who did
What
Canelo
did
win
John
his
Ryder
first title from?
do to deserve a fight with Canelo? That's
Yeah.
what I'm
Or
asking.
Yildirim.
Like, yeah,
well, if you
yeah,
don't want to fight David, fight Benavidez.
yeah.
Benavidez, whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's what
Man, he
I'm
can't
saying,
fight
bro.
with
I've been
David.
saying that. He need to
He's not
fight
gonna go back
Benavidez,
to
bro.
175.
Nah.
Thanks,
He knows
Doc.
that fight
Yo,
Thank you,
anyway.
bro.
fight Bertubie.
He know that's
Brain
almost an
scrambled.
All right,
automatic loss.
listen.
Yeah.
If
He
Bertubie,
getting
Beterbiev,
brain scrambled. That's
that's
not.
a
That's
good big
let
man
me tell
versus
you
a
something.
good
Hey,
small
shoot.
man.
If
Just
if
don't match up.
Canelo fight Beterbiev, did you see what Ray Mercer did to Tommy Morrison? That's what would
No.
happen to. That's what would happen to
Listen.
his.
Canelo
Hell
could barely
nah.
speak English.
Tommy Morris
If
got
Canelo
his
fight Bertubie,
ass
he not gonna be able to speak
whooped.
Spanish no more. That motherfucker. Yo,
Hmm?
Yo, Ray Mercer was the type of
that ain't the
dude.
fight.
Oh,
That
oh
ain't the
yeah,
fight.
Ray
that was
Mercer
one of
was
the
the
most
type of
vicious
dude
ass
when he
fights
walked in
I've
the
ever
gym,
seen.
people part ways like he was Moses. Back in his
Hey,
amateur
that
days,
judge, that
shit,
ref,
people part
the
ways in
ref
the
in
gym
the
when he
Morrison
came
Mercer
through.
fight stopped that fight way too late.
Because he underestimated Ray Mercer. That's why.
Yeah,
He
because he was like
underestimated.
Ray Mercer
Yeah,
was
that
actually
too.
gonna kill him.
It was
Like
like, oh, he
he,
lost to an old man. He ain't nobody. Because he
Yeah.
lost to Holmes. So they
The
but
Larry,
Canelo.
you talk about Larry Holmes, right?
yeah, he lost to Holmes. So they
Yeah,
How
looked
I
much
at
did he
him
remember
like
that.
offer
He
him?
lost to him
so
he's
too.
what?
gonna be
That's
the
it's
old
Larry
man.
Holmes. So what?
Yeah, that
Larry
dude.
Holmes, he's back then.
Well, how much did he offer Benavidez? How much did he said the minimum?
He offered him 5.5 million, the minimum offer. Benavidez accepted it. Canelo's team didn't expect him to accept it. They thought he was going to turn it down. When he accepted it, Canelo's team stopped negotiating immediately.
Yeah.
He just. What's it gonna
Oh
take
no,
for him to fight Benavidez?
that is
He's not
crazy.
going. I've been telling y'all for months he's not going to fight
Yeah.
Benavidez. It's all right. I accept. Why you think Benavidez is going up to light heavyweight? But and guess what? Benavidez put himself in position to fight the winner of Bertubiev and Bivol. That's what his fight at light heavyweight
Yeah.
against. I can't pronounce the guy's name,
Yeah.
but
Bivol and
I think
Beterbiev.
it's older. Huh?
I thought
Oh, you think
Benavidez
he's
supposed
gonna
to
put
be
himself in
fighting
position to
somebody
fight
else, I heard.
Bivol and Beterbiev?
Yeah, but Benavidez, the guy he's fighting right there,
Um,
Gavozovic. Gavozovic. I don't know how I say that shit, but anyway, G. Maybe they're fighting G at light heavyweight, right? But that fight is directly related to the winner of Bivol versus Bertubiev, because that's the only reason why he's going to light heavyweight to fight those big names.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he's really chasing greatness.
Yeah.
Canelo has already showed greatness, so that's why he's no longer really chasing greatness.
yeah.
And he said he got 1 foot in boxing, 1 foot out. He's a part-time boxer, a part-time golfer. So this would be the
Golf.
perfect time for him to really get demolished against Benavidez, because he's not even fully focused on the sport no more.
But that's why he
So
should hang up his
yeah, but
gloves.
I
He got
remember
enough
saying
to
that
do.
Benavidez still wants Canelo, and he's hoping to be mandatory in both weight classes.
Hey, if he could do that, if he could go to 175 and still make 168, because remember, Bivol said here, rematch Canelo at 168, and Canelo said, oh, hell no. No, you're not taking my belts. I would not.
Yeah,
I
because he loses his
refuse.
insurance policy.
I would not fight you at 168. We could do it at 175 again, so I can have the excuse that you're bigger than me, but we would not do it at 168. Could fight at light heavyweight and still be able to make 168, that would be great. Because at the end of the day, if he's interested in this Canelo fight, Canelo will not be able to retire without fighting him, or people will always bring it up. They will always bring it up.
One
Well,
thing I
either
have to
way,
say
he's
about that,
insured
yeah, they
because
ain't to strip
Yeah.
Canelo out
either
of
way,
belt.
he'll be getting a title fight by the
Yeah.
end of this year.
the only thing I have to say about that, if Benavidez don't put himself 100% and dedicate himself 100% to 175 pounds, he will get knocked out by Beterbiev. He better not play that
Yeah,
over
I don't think he
168.
beating Bertubiev.
Yeah,
I understand.
I don't think he
think
could
so. I don't think
beat
he's gonna beat
I
Bertubiev.
don't
Benavidez
think
because
so.
that dude got power, man. He gonna hit your ass
And
with a right hook.
listen, Don Judah made such a great point. When he says he don't dedicate himself to 175, what he really saying is if he don't put on the necessary weight
That's what I'm saying.
to fight up there, he will get knocked out. But if he puts on the necessary weight, then he's not
There
gonna be
you
able to
go.
be going back down.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. You
So that
play
was a
that
hell of a
halfway
point.
I mean,
thing where I'm not going to dedicate myself to being a full 175 because I'm
because
not going to go
I
back to 168. And you
a
go in
guy
there
as
with
big as he
Beterbiev.
is, if he commits to 175 and then tries to drop down to 168, he might be having the
It'll be
Roy
bad.
Jones
It'll be
effect.
horrible for him. It won't be the Roy Jones effect, but that'll be Canelo's best chance to beat him because he will be drained.
Yeah.
Now, the only way that Benavidez could have done it is if he was more of a mover on his feet. He's not a mover. So, like, a lot of people don't know Ali. When Ali was a heavyweight, when he first started, he wasn't even 200 pounds. but he was able to huh?
Yeah, well back
Heavyweight.
then the heavyweight limit
He
was
made
different.
himself a heavyweight. See, a lot of people
Exactly.
think
So
he
at least
won the
make
gold medal at heavyweight. He won the gold
He was a
medal at
light
light
heavyweight.
heavyweight.
right. But I'm saying when he went pro, he wasn't even 200 pounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the reason he was able to get away with it was because of the footwork.
Yeah.
The only way Benavidez would have been able to beat Alberto Biev and not really commit to putting on that weight if he had different footwork. That's what I was saying. He doesn't have that type of footwork, so he would actually have to put on the weight.
Yeah.
So I don't think he will be. I don't think the Canelo fight will happen. I don't think it'll be happening.
It won't be smart for Canelo unless he's just looking for money. But if he's looking to go out still not undefeated, but if he's looking to go out on a win, stay away from David. That's what his people are telling him.
Yeah.
Because the chances, I don't know. I don't know. That
Well,
Mexican monster look a little dangerous in there sometimes.
Yeah. Man, they gonna fight though, man. That would have been one of the greatest Mexican fights. Like the Mexican fans, they really fucked me up because it's like y'all protecting Canelo so much, acting like David isn't a real threat or who has David fought.
I don't
I
know.
They're
remember
robbing
Canelo
themselves
said
of
he
their
wasn't
own.
gonna fight Mexican fighters. I can't remember, but he
That
said
was to
something
hide
out of
from
them
David. That was
lines.
to
Yeah,
get
that
away
was
from
before
David.
the third Triple G fight, and then afterwards he
Yeah.
said that like I don't care, I'll fight anybody, but he hasn't fought anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, man. I
Like
remember.
This
He
motherfucker
don't
out
want
here
to fight
fighting
no
Jamel
David, man.
Charlo.
no,
He
like
out here fighting
Man,
I'm
Jamel
he
I'm
don't
Charlo.
even
Yeah,
messing
want
he
to
fighting
I
people
fight
like
that's not even
nobody.
Canelo,
naturally
but I
It
cannot
seemed
116.
like
accept it right now.
this
They need
motherfucker
to
talking about he want
respect
to
him.
fight in September and stuff, bro. Like, I don't know.
That's
I
like
don't know.
forever away.
Like if Benavidez wins against the winner of Bivol Beterbiev, do you think Canelo would actually move up to fight him?
Hell
Fuck
no.
no.
No, no. That's why I believe. Look, I believe the Kovalev fight was fixed. The way that Kovalev felt, that shit looked fishy as hell to me. When he fought Bivol, he fought somebody that was coming to win, and his power did not have no effect on Bivol. Canelo was too small for light heavyweight. That's why Benavidez is a natural light heavyweight. That's why Benavidez will beat Canelo.
But I give
Hey,
him
Wicked,
props for
when
moving
you up
up to
here, you
light
gotta
heavyweight.
mute your mic, bro, because it's always repeating. I just muted it for you, but you gotta mute it if you're not talking.
Yeah.
My mic, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
But I give Canelo props because there's not too many welterweights that moved up to light heavyweight. Even though he lost it,
Yeah.
he lost that fight, but you could count on one hand how many
Who done it? Who
welterweights
done
made
it?
it to light
Yeah,
heavyweight.
but I've heard a lot of people thinking that he kind of cherry picked. If he was actually serious about doing something at 175, he would have kept that WBO belt when he beat Kovalev.
And that would have put him in line to fight Beterbiev?
Maybe, but
But it would
he
have got
already
him.
had the Triple
I mean,
G fight signed.
Yeah, it would have got
huh?
him stripped from
But
his
when he
3 belts at
when
168.
he
That's
fought
why.
Bivol, he already had the third Triple G fight signed.
Oh, so you're
Are you
saying
serious?
he wasn't really trying to have a real run at light heavyweight?
Like he said, yeah, I'm gonna go do this at 175 again, and then I'm coming back for Triple G.
Yeah,
Right. I mean, he's not a natural light. That's why Don Judah was saying
yeah,
just give him the credit. Canelo could not survive at light heavyweight. He's really too
no,
small. To be honest, he's small at super middleweight, but he has great power. He's also been found to be on that shit, and he's a great fighter.
yeah,
So that's what allows him to really compete at middleweight at 5'8".
yeah. He got good
Yeah.
legs. Canelo got
Yep.
good legs. So even though he get tired
With
at
his
the end of the
style, you can't just keep messing around, going up in weight. It's not gonna work the same for you. Like who is y'all remember when they were talking about him fighting that African fighter at cruiserweight?
What?
What's his
You
name?
mean
Makabu?
Makabu
That was a joke. He was never going to cruiser.
uh,
I know what you're talking about, though.
It's a joke.
fighting Fury around that time? Like I
No,
remember that
not
bull.
really.
Usyk. They
No,
wanted to talk about him fighting Usyk.
Yeah, exactly. They were just
But
hyping up.
those are things that when you the cash cow or you a big name in the sport, people will throw shit out
yeah,
just to get views for one day. Like these little news stations, they have to make a certain amount, get a certain amount of public interest every single day. That's their job. So sometimes they just throw out names. Canelo and Usyk, Canelo, when they can't come up with a real story or they don't have any real information. So that's why they do stuff like that. People do it on the internet. Like they'll say something outlandish just to get some interest for the day. That's their job.
yeah. I couldn't see him fight.
Yeah, I remember I seen one that was talking about Errol Spence versus Erickson Lubin not too long ago. I was
I
like,
mean,
nah, that don't really
that
make any
That
would
would
be
sense.
a
build
nice
Spence
little,
back up.
yeah,
That's a
to
decent
build
fight.
him up. But if I was Erickson Lubin, man, I would feel disrespected, and I would go in there and try to get a win.
Did you
Yeah.
see his last fight? Oh
But
my God! I thought he
but
should hang up.
Errol Spence
Lubin.
does have an
You
80.
talking about against Sebastian?
Eric Lubin. Guess who?
Against Sebastian Fundor, the tall guy.
It might be. That might be the fight.
Yeah, that was a war. That was crazy. That was, and his face got real bloated.
He never won the title either. Lubin.
Yeah, he never won.
He lost. He got.
I mean, when he gets in with the big fights, he loses. But the last fight was scary for Fundor because that was the first time Fundor showed that weakness. Lubin actually dropped him, even though the fight had to get stopped because Lubin's face was swelling so much and it looked crazy. Lubin actually hurt Fundor, and then Fundor went on to lose in the fight after that.
Wow. Well, maybe that one.
Fundor got knocked out.
So I like Lubin when he came out the Olympics. I thought he was going to do something. And that Charlo fight came. I think they rushed him because sometimes they get these
I don't
Olympics.
think they rushed him. I think that he was in his hit. When you watch the Charlo fight at the beginning, Lubin looked like a deer in headlights. So a lot of times that people don't factor this shit into boxing, you could be as skilled as you want to be when you perform under the lights.
That's
I think
my
Lubin
point.
should be getting under the lights and being like, oh shit. That's what I be saying.
But this is what happens with these Olympic fighters. They turn pro and they get this big money. And then the promoters are looking to get their money back real quick. They did it with David Reed. I don't know if y'all remember David Reed. He won. He was the only one to win.
Knocked out by Trinidad.
No, he from America. No, he won the gold. He was the only one to win the gold in that Olympic. They signed him, gave him all this money, and then rushed him. Then he started getting the shit beat out of him by everybody. De La Hoya, all of them just started beating not De La Hoya, who beat him? I think Vargas.
Trinidad knocked him out.
Trinidad beat him. They
started just saying. He wasn't saying that he was from Trinidad. He said
I thought
he got beat by
I thought he said from Trinidad.
I know. That's why I caught that.
My bad. Yeah, and they rushed him. They do a lot of Olympic fighters. If you don't have that team behind you, that's gonna say no. If you gave him the money, you wait to make that money back. They rush him to make that money back. They do that to some people. I think they did that to Lubin, but we'll never know. We're not in this camp, so we don't know. Maybe they thought he was really ready. I didn't see it.
A lot of these Olympic fighters get brushed. I heard they're talking about getting Andy Cruz a title shot soon.
Andy Cruz.
Oh, yeah, Andy Cruz. But it's the thing, though, man. Andy Cruz could get a title to go against whoever is the weakest in the division. Andy Cruz could take that belt off of him after he get a couple more fights. Because that motherfucker, he's super skilled. So they do that sometimes. Like they'll be like, okay, they'll look and see who's the weakest in the division out of the 4 belt holders. Then they'll match him up with that dude. Like Tank, I think it's with Pedraza. Yeah, so Pedraza, he was undefeated at the time, I think, but it was other people. It's other people who would have gave him more work. So when you got somebody young up and coming, they don't want to throw him in there with a shark. Yeah. They look for the weakest link.
Yeah,
they gonna do that with Andy Cruz.
Oscar De La Hoya did that in his early career. Yeah. He took that WBO. He took all the WBO titles. And y'all know what I told y'all.
But the WBO wasn't officially recognized back then.
Well, it was a recognized, but it was the weakest. It wasn't. If you won it, they'd say you was a world champ, but they wouldn't call you one of the top 3. Like WBC, IBF, and WBA.
I think they only started doing that around the time that Hopkins beat De La Hoya.
Yeah, somewhere around there. And we used to call it the W Bogus. And that's the W Bogus title. But they still called it. It wasn't like the IBO. It wasn't as bad as the IBO title. So one of the titles that Pacquiao won was the IBO title. I forgot what division, and they call that a world title. And I tell people all the time that's not a world title. So if you're gonna give Pacquiao props for that IBO title, you got to go back in the books, and everybody that had that title got to get recognition as a world champ too.
Wait, didn't he get that title when he beat Hatton?
I'm not sure. No, because he fought Hatton at 147. He fought Hatton at, I think it was either 140 or 120, or 140 or 126, one or the other.
It was 140.
He beat the lineal champ when he didn't have the title, but I forgot who it was. It was the lineal champ because he was the last one to hold the title. I don't know if he was stripped or whatever, and Pacquiao beat him on a title fight. So they consider him the champ in that division, and then when he won the IBO.
I mean,
So they give
I
him an
think
8
I
division
think back then,
championship.
like the
No, it
IBO
was a
was
6
really
division champ.
recognized in Europe.
The
Over here,
IBO? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and in Europe, because that what's his name, the heavyweight champ from England, he had that IBO and he was wearing it like it was a real
Joshua,
title. Huh? What's his name?
AJ.
Yeah, AJ. AJ was wearing that in the ring
I
like it
think
was a real
I think
title.
even Lennox had it for a while.
Yeah, so nobody count that shit. So if you
'Cause
only win an IBO title, you're not considered a world champ unless your name is Pacquiao.
but I think Usyk still has it right now. I mean,
But
a lot of
do
people
he
have had
come
it.
in the
Like
ring with it?
Klitschko had it, Fury had it.
Do they come in the ring with it?
Yeah.
Well,
Weirdly
AJ, the
so.
only I never see Lennox Lewis come in the ring with that IB bogus belt on. Never.
I've never seen him with that.
He had it. He got it. I
I didn't
think
say
when
he
he
didn't
beat
have it.
Holyfield. It was
I didn't say
vacant,
he didn't have
but
it.
they
I'm
put it on
saying
the
did he
line for
wear it in the
Holyfield.
ring? That's like wearing an NABF title in the ring. Nobody does that. No, not even the NABF title holder. My man Larry Barnes was the NABF title holder. And when he fought Trinidad, he ain't come in the ring with no damn NABF belt.
Yeah, but that's a regional title.
They would have thrown him. I'm just saying.
That's what he's saying. He's saying that to put on the IBO is like wearing an
Yeah.
BF.
Yeah.
Young
Like,
Bucks.
nobody recognized that. So
Hey man, hey y'all been up here cooking. Levi, Dog, Judah, Cam, Wickedy, everybody, thanks for coming up. We
Hey,
had a good live, man. Y'all, as y'all know, y'all always welcome. Full live replay will be available on YouTube, man.
yeah.
Later, y'all.
All right, peace out, bro.